Hello everybody and welcome to this Train Sim TV video. This is Mark. Today I'm going to be doing a bit of a tutorial on the Armstrong Powerhouse Class 37 Pack Vol.1 and how you go about numbering it in the scenario editor. This is in response to a request we had in one of our YouTube video comments about how to do the numbering and stuff, and since it's a pretty easy video to make, I decided I might as well make it to be helpful hopefully to a few other people as well. So when you're doing the numbering in the scenario editor, it's quite complicated with the AP37 if you're not used to using the scenario editor. And I admit, even as somebody that is used to using the scenario editor, it can still be a bit daunting at times looking at all the stuff on the manual page. So what I need to do first is change my settings in my streaming window, which I just did. Okay, so first of all, what you want to do is when you're loading the scenario editor, just say you've loaded into any scenario. I just use my test route here. So what I'm going to do is going to go to the arrow over here, the object set filter. You click that, then you get the window open on the right hand side. You want to click this arrow over here, then scroll down to AP, and then in your list of stuff, yours might not have as much stuff in it as mine does. You're going to want to go down there, and where it says Class 37 Pack 01, tick the middle box, and then make sure once you've ticked it that both the middle box and the right hand box, which is the one that shows that it's in the list, is green with a tick. That one, the one on the left, you don't use that for scenario editor, so just ignore that. That'll always be blank, but those two need to be ticked for you to see it in the list on the left. So now we've done that, we've got it ticked, that means it's selectable in scenario editor. So now what we can do is you want to tap A on your keyboard once you've clicked on this loco icon up here, engines and tenders. Click A and then you'll instantly get taken. You should in theory usually get taken around the area of the 37 in the list, or you can just scroll down from the top, but I always click A because it's quicker. Okay, so then what you want to do is you can obviously, what 37 do you want to place? So you obviously want to say what 37 you want to place. So we're going to have a look at the manual. In fact, we're going to go on Flickr, sorry. So I just picked a random number, plucked it out in there, 37427. Let's click on this photo over here. Okay, so what we've got there is we've got it in large logo livery with its nameplates. And we're going to get that one now from this photo into the game. So to do that, we need to have a look at the manual, into the game, sorry. And we need to go to one of these large logo liveries. Now, large logo 1 there is the large logo livery without the cant line. Large logo 2 is large logo with cant line, which is the orange line across the top of the loco. Now the way I always do it when I'm placing these locos is I always look at a photo of the loco in Flickr. Just search the number in Flickr and you should really get loads of photos of it. And then I recreate it in the game. So you got livery 2, which is the one with the cant line. You've also got the GSMR versions of it, which come with GSMR in the cab. This one doesn't have that. But the other thing to note is the weathering. So you got W1, 2 and 3. Basically weathering 1 is virtually clean, weathering 3 is dirty. And that's how you distinguish those. So we're going to say weathering 1 for this one. Now what I always do is I always place 1 first and then place the second one as the one I'm going to work on, then delete the one that I placed first of all, because it seems to make it a little bit buggy if you place the first one and it comes with all sorts of nameplates and stuff attached. So what you want to do is when you've dropped it down like that, double click it, and then on the right hand side you'll get this flyout window. Up here you can set how much fuel it's got. So if you want to do a scenario and say the loco had to go for fuel at the start of the scenario or something, you set it to like 10% and then you go and take fuel. Anyway, that doesn't matter for this bit. So what we're looking at here, this whole video basically is surrounding this number tag here. And this number tag is what controls what loco you see in game. So generally the whole thing there is controlled just from this box. So vitally, you need the manual for this. So we're going to have a look at the manual and start looking through all this. We've gone through the placement already. Numbering is what we're on now, the complicated part. So we've got logos and stuff there, which is what we're going to go through in a minute. You can go through large numbers, nameplates, plaques. And we're going to go through as many of these as we possibly can in this video. Just trying to go through the basics for you. So what we'll start with down here basically is Armstrong Powerhouse's explanation of his numbering system. So there you go, the first number's there, 37667. So that's whatever loco number you want to appear. Now bear in mind, when you're placing these locos, you need to be placing a number from the actual subclass. If I place number from that carried that livery. So if I place 37716 in here, for instance, it's not going to do anything because I've got the wrong type of 37 placed. To get 37716, I have to place one of the ones like DRS or something like that. So that's something you need to remember. You do need to have a basic knowledge of the class 37 to do that. That's just how it's going to work. So we know what we're placing here. So in the manual, as we were saying, the number there, then you've got the config early 90s. Now, you don't ever really touch the config. Always leave the config bit as it is. So where that semicolon is there, through to the end of the year thing there, 90s, and all the bit that's in black basically, never touch that in your loco number. Just leave that alone. I never touch it. Just leave it alone, because otherwise you end up with all sorts of problems. And then you've got all your little suffixes here, like for instance this one's got a British Rail plaque on with the BR1. I'm going to go through all these. You've got the depot plaque there, number 5 for Cardiff Canton, and the plough equals full snowplough. So what we're going to do now is we're going to start off with what we've got in this photo. So we've got 37427. It's the one with the cant line that we want to place. So we want to go on to BR large logo livery 2, weathering 1. We don't want the GSMR version because it's a 1980s version of the loco. So you want to press that. Now that's placed, the first thing I always do is obviously the first thing I'm going to do here is put the right number in. So the right number is 37427. You put that in, it instantly also detects the right type of bogies in for the loco. If you notice there, it's gone from one type of bogey to another, just from changing the number, because that's controlled on the config bit. So that's already figured out for you. So generally, you don't really need to worry about the bogies on most locos. So the first thing we've done there, we've got the number in, which is the easy part really. It's got the Bound Bridge plaque on there, and it's got the nameplate on there. So next up we need to have a look at the photo again, see what we're going to do. So we've got the cant line, we know that's already on the livery. The loco, first thing to notice, no snow plows. Now if we look at this, we've also got no snow plows, which is good. Now the one thing we do have, which we shouldn't have, is a Scotty dog. And I believe if we go into the manual, we're going to want to look up here, logos. You can add locos / decals by adding L equals X, and X is basically these numbers here. So swap X with a number. So for the BR large logo livery, which is the livery we're looking at, you can have 1 for Scotty dog, 2 for Highland Vale, or 3 for the Welsh Dragon. Well, we can see from this that we've got number 1 selected, so that's giving us a Scotty dog. Say we wanted to put Highland Vale on there, even though it's not authentic for the loco, you just change that to a 2, and you get the Highland Vale logo appearing on there. Change it to a 3, and you get the Welsh Dragon appearing on there. Now let's have a look at the photo. I don't believe there's any Welsh Dragons on there, and there isn't. It is literally just a blank loco. So all we need to do when it's a blank loco is go behind the 3, so get your Mac cursor behind the 3, and then just delete back to the semicolon, delete the semicolon, and then that's it. So you've removed the logo. It's as simple as that. You just remove the logos there, so it's got no logo on it now. So we've got 37427 nameplate on there. And then what we're going to do is we're going to have a look at the photo, another look at the loco. I always just keep sort of flicking between just to see what I can see on there. There isn't really any proper resource, unless you're going to start searching books and websites and everything all over the place. There isn't really any sort of resources to actually really go into detail with this sort of stuff. So you really are using your own knowledge and your eyesight, what you see in the photos just to do it. So we've got that there. Now we've already got the right overhead flashes on there. You can change the overhead flashes if you want. We've got the nameplate on there. Let's say we wanted to take the nameplate off that loco. Just delete the nameplate bit out, including the semicolon, NP equals 1. And there we go, we've got the nameplate back on again. Make sure that you leave a space between the S and the semicolon, and also do it in capital letters, equals, and then your number. Some locos obviously carried more than one name, and in that case, as it says in the manual here, you use MP equals 2, MP equals 3. And that's to choose the different nameplates that loco's carried. Again, to do that you really do have to have a knowledge of the loco, because otherwise you're going to be completely lost. And there's not really any other way to explain that. You're going to have some sort of knowledge of the locomotive itself to understand how to use these numbering strings. So we've gone to 37.4 there. Pretty simple really. Let's have a look at 37. But what we'll do is we'll have another look at 37427. So here we are, we've got number 37427 in Regional Railways livery now, because I feel like this can be explained even better. So what we want to do is go down the list until we get to Regional Railways here. Weathering 1, Weathering 2, Weathering 3. So they're all the same livery, just with different states of weathering. Well, look at that, it's quite a dirty loco. So we'll put in Weathering Model 3 for that. Again, what I'm going to do is I'm going to place the first one and place the second one. Now, hopefully, it's actually already placed 37427 in the game, which is turn up for the books. So what we'll do is, because that's completely pointless, we're going to remove that first, and then we're going to place 37414 down. So what we're going to do again is double click it, and then essentially all we're going to do is really change the number, and that's changed obviously the nameplate. But what it's done is it's left Regional Railways on the side of the loco. Now if we look at 427 in a better photo of it in Regional Railways, we'll find that it actually has ScotRail on the side. That one shows it, I believe. There you go. So on that photo there you can see it's got ScotRail on the side. Now to recreate that in the game, I'm going to have to go over here to where it says a logo, and what we can do is we can refer to the manual again. So again, logos, you can add logos / decals by adding semicolon L equals X to the locomotive number. So basically, look below for your livery. We're using Regional Railways livery here. So using a 1 where the X is, you get Regional Railways writing, which is what we've got. And then if you use a 2, you get ScotRail. So what we want to do is, we know we need a 2 for ScotRail, so it says there, semicolon L equals, and then you just put a 2, change it to ScotRail. It's as simple as that. And if we wanted to remove that, you just delete that 2 equals L and the semicolon, and it's as simple as that. We've just deleted it. Even though that's really not authentic, we've deleted it. So all I'm going to do is put that back in, is semicolon L equals 2, and it's reappeared. Got the nameplate on as we want. If we look in the photo again, it does have the nameplate there. Now if you notice, look, we've got a three-piece plow on there. And that again is a part of this manual. So you go down the manual to where it says snow plows. So to add the plow on, all I do really generally is copy and paste that, Control and C to copy it, and then read this bit below, add that to the locomotive number, and then you swap X. So if you don't want a snow plow, X equals none. In this case, it didn't have a snow plow to start with, so it didn't need that bit. If you just want the outer snow plows, you put outer after the equals. And if you want a three-piece snow plow, as is seen in our photo here, a three-piece snow plow, you put a full. You type full after the equals. So what I'm going to do first, copy and paste that. Control and V to paste it. Delete the X. And then I'm going to type full. And what that should have given us now is the three-piece plow that we were looking for. So that's nicely added on. Again, we'll have another look at the photo, see if there's anything else we're missing. I believe we've got everything on there now. Indeed we have. Pretty simple to do, to be honest. So that's ready to go now. Now, one thing we haven't done here and gone into is we haven't said anything about an NRN, sorry, and we haven't said anything about cold start. So to have the NRN radio already active when the scenario starts, now bear in mind you need to know your NRN zones for this already. I know, for instance, that the Plymouth zone is 098. So let's say we know what NRN zone we're in, and we want the NRN radio in the cab to already be lit up. You're going to copy and paste that there, semicolon NRN equals X. And it doesn't matter what order you're adding stuff to the number. You can add as much stuff as you want to the number. It doesn't matter what order you add it in. So just press the spacebar, Control and V, NRN equals X. Then delete the X, and I'm going to type 098. Now we're not going to see any visual difference there. Basically, when I start that loco up in game, it would have the NRN radio already started up with 098 channel selected in the game. Same again, I'm going to show you how to do a cold start. I'll add cold start. I'm not going to show you the full cold start because it takes ages, but I did it in the actual review video that I did when this product first came out. So all I'm going to do there is copy and paste that, and you don't have to change anything. It's just literally for a cold start, you copy it, and again, it doesn't matter what order you add it, just add it to the number. Nothing will change visually, but that is now a cold start loco, and that's in a cold and dark state, and you have to start that from scratch. And you need to read the manual to work out how to start it from cold. If you want to just go back to a normal starting loco, just delete cold out of there, and then that's a normal starting loco now. So we'll delete that one out, and now we'll look at doing a 37.7. So we'll look at 37.709. This was just a number I plucked from thin air. Didn't really put any thought into it. Bearing in mind that none of the 37.7s or 37.5s have nameplates, so that's one less thing to worry about when you're doing these. Now note you got the different nose types. Now the nose types don't come up in the selection list. You need to know what livery you're going to place. Now this, if we look at it, is a BR train load livery. I'm going to actually check which livery that is in a minute. I believe that's petroleum. And this is as simple as it is really. You just need to Google search stuff and you'll find what you're looking for. Oh, that's sectors. Google search is always useful and it's always worth doing. Okay, so here you go. So you can see there the different markings of British Train Load Freight livery. And we're looking for the one on this photo. I'm going to delete that tab. Is the one with the curved sort of lines. And look in the thing. Petroleum is the one we're looking at. So now that we know it's the petroleum livery, all we need to do is place the train load livery. So I'll just place livery 1. Again, first loco down, we ignore that. Use the second loco that's placed. That's already got the right front end thing, and I'm purposely not going to use the right front end thing. I'm just going to keep going until I find one without the right front end. So there we go. So you look at that there, and that is nothing like 37.709 at all. And it really is quite easy to make that into 37.709. So all we're going to do is double click it. Go inside the semicolon so we can delete the number 674. Just type 709. And as simple as that, we're already quite a way there. It's just changed the front end completely to a 37.7. What we need to do now is go back into the manual, because the first thing we need to do there is, if we look at our photo, is it's got the petroleum sector, and we've got rail freight distribution logos on there. So we need to go down here, up here, wherever the logos bit is the bit you're looking for. There you are, logos. So again, this is the same as we've done before. Semicolon L equals. Copy that, and then we're doing BR train load livery. So you've got 1 for coal, 2 for construction, 3 for metals, 4 for petroleum, 5 for rail freight distribution. So all we're going to do here, in fact we didn't need to actually copy it because it's already on the end of delivery. So all we need to do there is change that 5. We look at the manual again. 5 equals rail freight distribution. Well, that's why it's obviously wearing the rail freight distribution livery, because it's got 5 on the logo bit. We want petroleum, so we're going to change that 5 to a 4, look there. 4 equals. So change the 5 to a 4, and there you go, you got your petroleum sector markings on there correctly. Now I'm going to have to find another photo of 37.709, because if you look at it there, it's got a depot plaque, but I can't see from this photo what depot plaque that is. So just going to use this power of flicker until we find a photo that shows it. And there we go. I don't know exactly what depot plaque that is, so what I'm going to do is again a Google search BR depot plaques, and it's quite a simple thing to do. First image search request comes up with them all. As simple as that is. All I want to do is find the image that it came from. Now I've said that. There we are. Okay, so I don't believe all these are in the game. I can't remember. I don't believe all these are in the game. But anyway, what we need to do is we need to match the photo. So we can see there, it's sort of like a flame thing. It looks like to me. So there's none on that row, not on that row, not on that row. There it is, Ripple Lane, look. So ripple lane is the name of the thing. So all I do now is we go back to the manual. We know now it's ripple lane. And what we need to go through then is the plaques bit. You can control the plaques shown by adding semicolon dp equals x to the locomotive number. So we copy dp equals x, and then look there. This applies to BR train load, intercity mainline grey, and transrail liveries. If you try and do it on another livery, I don't know if it'll work or not, but it won't look right anyway because it's not what you want. Okay, so only try this if you're trying to place BR train load, intercity mainline grey, or transrail livery. And basically work off a photo like we're showing you here in the tutorial because that's just the easiest way to do it. So we want the ripple lane depot plaque on there. We've copied that there, semicolon dp equals x. And what we're going to do is we're going to place that in there, paste it with Control and V, delete the x, change it to a 1, and there you go. The plaque has appeared on the end. It'll be on the other side as well. And as simple as that, we've just got the right loco. Now, setting up locos is interesting in this scenario. It does take a bit of time. You're talking a couple of minutes for each loco. If you're placing loads of them, it's going to take you a long time. We'll just continue here, having a look at the locos again. Just check the photo again that we were looking at. You can also change the search engine over as well by using different years and stuff. So say you want 37/7/09/1995, you click it and you get this photo and any others taken in 95. You might miss some if nobody's tagged it in the right year or something like that, or you might get some erroneous results. So in a lot of cases, in older cases anyway, for older photos, you actually find that no photos come up at all. If you put 1982 or something up, you'll probably get nothing come up at all. So Flickr is your friend. Just use it as best you can. It really does help with stuff like this. It saves me hours and hours every day using Flickr to do stuff like this, as well as route building as well. Okay, so next up, we're going to have a look at 37689, which was another random number I plucked out of thin air. We're not going to use that one because that's a bit broke, that one. And we're going to have a look at this one at bundle. So let's say we want to place this loco. Now, it's in a rail freight livery, and it's in rail freight grey standard. If you place rail freight red, you get the red sole bar at the bottom, and it's not that one because if you look at the photo, it doesn't have the red bottom on it. It's this one without the red bottom, not that one. I've pressed the wrong one there. This one without the red bottom. Again, I always place the second one, I don't use the first one. So this will be a pretty easy one to set up actually. 37, and what we're going to do is 689, and there we go. Just like that, it's actually changed the window as well. So we've got 37689 placed there with its blue star, rail freight sticker at the end, and we've not had to change anything. Look, the config, it's all in the configuration already. We didn't actually have to do anything for that one. Just let me double check that I've not missed anything on it. And this is probably the more likely of any of these that I'm looking at. That's probably going to have slow speed control on it. Now by default, I believe all locos have slow speed control added. So what we're going to want to do is with any of these we've placed or whatever, generally you're going to want to remove slow speed control and the driver and power lines, data cord. You want to remove all those things, depending on your area that you're trying to do. So let's say we want to delete slow speed control from the cab of this loco. All you want to do is you want to go into the manuals where it says slow speed control and driver and reminder appliance. To add or remove slow speed control functionality, add slow speed control, add semicolon SSC equals X, which is YON, to the locomotive number. Please note for the deliveries using DRS cab variant with GSMR, this controls whether the loco has a DRA and slow speed control speedometer blanking plate. So basically, if you're using a DRS version of the 37 and you want to add the DRA button into it, you're going to want to go to this part of the manual here, and you're going to want to copy the semicolon SSC equals X bit, and we're wanting to remove slow speed control from this loco. copy and paste it, then just delete the X and type an N. Again, we're not going to see a change in there because the cab's already selected anyway. You'd have to actually go into the scenario to see that change. So that's remove slow speed control. If I press Y, if I just leave it, it'll probably already have slow speed control, or you can just put a Y there to ensure it's forced. Simple as that, really. And we'll go through a few extra bits in a minute as well. So 37501. It looks like an interesting one to do here. So what we're going to do at 519 this is. So we're going to do 37519. So that's a train load livery again. We're going to go for weathered free. As usual, selecting the second loco that appears. And all we're going to do is double click it. Delete the number 37706. Type in 519. It's already changed the right bits that we want to appear. But it's got a few extra bits on there that we don't want. And to get rid of those, we want to get rid of the logo. We want to get rid of the depot plaque, because on our photo, if we look at the depot plaque, it doesn't have one on there. So the first thing to do, as simple as this, just delete that. Delete DP equals 3 and the semicolon removes that. Next up, we need to change this sector livery, because if you look at the livery on the side there, this is metal sector with the downward arrows. And the one we have at the moment is petroleum with that curved line that we had earlier. So what we have to do is, the easiest bit again is to go into the BR for 8 sectors. And again, just go into Google Images, BR for 8 sectors, I've searched there, and we can see that it's metals. So go into your manual, go up to logos. Again, copy and paste semicolon L equals X, and then we're looking at BR train load again. 1 for coal, 2 for construction, 3 for metals. So we want to put L equals 3 on the end of this. And so it says L equals. Just change that to a 3. There we go. It's got the arrows already. Now if we look at the photo, I believe it's got a 3-piece snowplow again. And it has. It's got a 3-piece plow look. It's actually got the two. No, sorry, it's got the outer plows. It hasn't got a 3-piece. It's got an outer plows. So go back to the manual. Go down to snowplows. So to add snowplows, add semicolon plow equals. Copy that into there. Again, as I've been saying, doesn't matter which order you put it in. Delete the X, and then you want to put in, for outer plows, we want outer. And there we go, we've got outer plows on there. That's all ready to go now. So I know a lot of people probably wanting to use Colas 37s and DRS 37s and whatever, so we'll probably look at those as well now. So we placed that there, we've got 37521 now appeared. Let's say we don't want 521, let's say we want 421. So 37421. Because 37421 is another Colas 37. And just need to find a decent photo of it. There we go. So we see 421 there. Pretty simple, it's in Colas livery. Double click it. And all we're going to do is change the 5 there to a 4. 421, it's already changed all the numbers and stuff. And has it changed the lights? Yes, we've got LED lights on there. We've got a 3-piece plow on there. And as it wants the plow on the loco, again it's a 3-piece plow, which is correct. That's pretty simple, really. I mean, there's not really anything else we have to do with that. That's as simple as really it is to place a Colas 37. If you look at the manual, see what else you can do with it. You can, if you want, obviously, you can take the plows off if you want. I mean, I think it does usually run with its plows on. Whether they take them off in the summer or not, I don't know. Let's have a look. Yeah, most photos show it with the plows on, so maybe they don't take them off. But let's say in Train Simulator, you can do what you want. Because we all know you can do what you want in Train Simulator. Say you want to take the plows off. Go into your manual, add plow add semicolon, plow equals x to your number, and for the after the equals put none, and that actually removes the plows. So if you wanted to run it out of plows, you could do. It's as simple as that. And if you wanted to v-add them again, you just type full, and you get the full plows. Or you can type outer to just get the outer ones. It really is that simple. We can do a DRS one as well. Let's say we want to do let's say we want to do 37716 because I believe that one's got a DRA. Don't shoot me if I've got that right, Ron, I mean. So let's have a look at a photo of 716. There we are. So we've got 716 there. So we need to first work out which livery it is. It's not that one, because if you look at it, it's the newest sort of coalesce livery, compass version. Not that one. So we need to find out exactly which one it is, and there we go. So we've already got 716 actually appearing there, so let's change that to, I don't know, 405. Not 3405, 37405. You can have whatever you want with that branded on. So this is DRS3, and DRS3 comes with the latest version of that branding. Actually, I believe 37716 is the only one that you can get in this livery anyway, so if you want to place 37716, you just want to place this. Again, let's say we need to add the DRA to this, because I don't know if this version of the loco will have DRA. We'll go actually in game and we'll see if it's got DRA in there. In theory, it would already have DRA in there, but we're not actually sure. So we've added the driver tag on there. All we're going to do is go into the cab and just have a look, see what it's showing. Just go into the cab, and yeah, because it's in this newer livery, it's already got DRA in there anyway, so we didn't need to do that. So that's how simple it is to place 37716, for instance. Really easy. Now, I'm not entirely sure which DRS37s have DRA because it's not something I've looked into. I'm more of a 90s/early 2000s person, so my knowledge of DRS37s is not brilliant. But let's just say you wanted to do 37419. Now, I've no idea if it's got DRA in there or not, in all honesty. Let's just make it so it's something totally different to what we're wanting. So we've got 37510 there. We wanted to be 37419 with DRA and everything. So we're going to delete that. I'm going to type in the number there, 419. And then we're going to have a look at some photos of 419 before we go any further. So here we go. This one has got 3 plows. It's also got a nameplate. So we've put in 419 there, but we haven't got a nameplate showing. And that's because we haven't had nameplate to the number yet. So to add nameplate to the number, we need to go back to the manual again. So you want to add the nameplate. You want to be adding this bit. Sorry, I've done that wrong. So this loco has got more numbers. In fact, looking at this, I think AP's actually written the manual a bit wrong here. And the reason I say that is, you got the nameplate thing there, but then the code changes. Look there, it starts with an N equals, and it changes to NP equals. So you want to copy NP equals 1, and paste it on here, and there you go. The numbers, the nameplates appeared. That is actually, I think, a bug in the software, because I'm pretty sure that I typed in the top one there that it suggests, and it didn't change anything. Yeah, that's wrong in the manual. So when you're doing nameplates in the manual, it needs to be doing NP, not N. So next up, we're gonna say just check the overhead flashes. It should be right. They are. So looking back at the manual there, we've got snow plows on already. You can change the buffer style. I mean, all this is just basic stuff that all you do is, as I've been showing you with the manual. Let's say we want to do something completely crazy and we want to change the horn on the front of this loco to a nose horn. All we do is go into the manual there, add horn, add semicolon horn equals to the number, and then nose. And then we've got a nose horn on there. As ridiculous as that looks on 419, you can do that and just delete it out if you want to take it off. Simple as that. You can just, you're free to do what you want with this. You really are. So what we're going to do as well is we're going to make sure we've got DRA in there because we don't know if we've got it in or not. So say we want to have DRA in there anyway. I'm going to copy that, and we're going to copy semicolon SSC equals, and then a Y, and then that will put the DRA in the cab for us. Pretty much simple as that. And you can do other things. You can add the train length button. You can add data card units. You can actually do the standout locos as well. And you can do other stuff like black center head code boxes. So let's say you want to add the center head codes. If you want to add the box into black, you just copy and paste that bit that I copied and pasted there from the manual. And there you go, you got black head code boxes on the loco. As ridiculous again as that looks, it's as simple as that. You just add it from the manual. And I think really once you've used all the research material and you understand what you're doing with the scenario editor, it's really a pretty simple sort of way of doing it. You just got to know your way around the 37 class, what you're doing. Try and use some research materials like I've been using Flickr. And basically, just read the manual. It is easy to do if you read the manual, and also just experiment with the scenario editor. You're not going to break the game if you're experimenting. You might make a scenario that you don't necessarily want, but you're not going to break the game. Don't try and edit a scenario that's already in there unless you really know what you're doing. Just create a free roam anywhere and just place stuff down, have a play and experiment, see what you can do. It's pretty basic once you get your hands and your head around it, so once you understand it better. Hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. If there's any other tutorials that you'd like me to try and do, I'm not saying I'll be able to do it because time is, I don't have much time, but if it's something that I can do and something that I'm confident in doing myself, I can try and do it for you. So if you do have any tutorials that you'd like, be it root editor or scenario editor, then do put it in the comments. Please do subscribe or like the video, we really appreciate that and it helps us to grow as a YouTube channel. Don't forget to check us out on Twitch. Tom's usually live on there on a Wednesday and Friday, 7:30 on a Wednesday, 7 o'clock on a Friday. Twitch.tv/TrainSimTV_Tom. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Hopefully maybe you learned something about it. And thank you for watching, guys. Goodbye.